Hello, today I'm going to be going through instructions for the eMAR. We'll be going through how to give a medication, what to do if a client refuses or doesn't take a medication, and we will be going through a few other steps. So the first thing I'm going to do is share my screen. Okay, so this is the home dashboard for InSync. And so the first thing that I want to go over is making sure that we remember to log out of InSync every time we leave the med room. This will just ensure that if somebody goes in to give a medication, that they have to log into their own InSync. So just remembering to log out, even if you're just going to be stepping away for, a minute or two, just get into the habit of logging out of InSync every time you leave the med room. We do not want people going in and accidentally giving meds under your name. Um, and I will go ahead and put a sticky note on the computer in the med room. But if we can just get into the habit of doing that, that uh, will be the best. So again, this is the home dashboard. So if you come over here to the icons on the left, you will see the eMAR icon. So you're going to go ahead and select that, and it will bring you to your eMAR dashboard. So the first thing that you want to do when you get to the eMAR dashboard is you want to pick your provider. And so we are going to have provider 1, 2, and 3 external. And so what this does is it just separates the 3 facilities. So provider 1 will be DDP, provider 2 will be IR, and then provider 3 will be mommy and me. And so you're going to click on the facility that you are at. And so I'm going to go ahead and choose provider 1 external for DDP. And then as you can see, my test clients over here, they are all provider 1 external. And so the first thing that I'm going to do before we get into giving medications is I just want to go through just a couple of these icons just so you are aware of what they are. So as you can see here, it has the client's name and date of birth. Right here, it will show the client's photo, so we will be able to identify the client. And then if you come over here and hover over these little boxes, it says batch administration. And so what this will do is this will allow us to give more than one medication at a time, and be able to document one after another rather than having to document and then go back in. So I'll go through that here in a little bit, but this is to, again, batch administration. So give more than one medication at a time. And then if you click on this green box, it says orders, so view list of medications and orders. So this is just going to give you a nice list of the medications that the client is taking. And then it has time, the med in the order, type, so if it's scheduled or PRN, and then status pending or given, and then the instructions if there are any. And then if you come here to this little orange and white pill, it says view medication list. So this is just going to give you another list, and then this will give you the entire list of the medications, including the PRNs that we have on there. So 2 different lists that you can look at there. And then here, this little clipboard with the check mark, it says view orders list. So if you click on this, this is going to be if we have any vital orders, if you need to check blood pressure or glucose, we can schedule those and they will pop up on the MAR for you to do that. So that'll be nice. So you can see here that this client is scheduled to have her blood pressure taken at 11 o'clock a.m. and 5 o'clock p.m. And so blood pressure 2 times a day. And then as you can see here, I already did that. So in the comments, I put that the blood pressure was 121/89 and a pulse of 101. So you'll be able to see that from previous staff putting that in. And then let's see. If you click on this view override medications and order list, you won't really have to do much with that. This will just really be for whoever enters in the medication, but it will show if anybody went in and was able to override a medication. Okay, and then if you come down here, this box has a red triangle with an exclamation point. So you can see this one doesn't. So what this indicates is missed medications and orders. And so this will come up to flag you if any medications have been missed for the day or not documented for the day. So maybe you give a medication and you forget to document it in the eMAR. Maybe a client refuses to take their medication and you forget to put it in there, or maybe the medication is just overlooked. So once, if it's an 8 o'clock med, they have from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. to take the medication. So once it hits 9:01 a.m., it is going to show this triangle if nothing has been done with that medication. So I did go ahead and keep a few or a couple of those. So if you notice here, this box is pink. The pink box does indicate that something was not done with the medication, something was missed. And so we can go ahead and click on that. You can go back and document. So let's say the client refused this medication. And so as you can see, it has all of the medication information. So it's Tresiba. And then right here after the drug medication, it has the provider's name, so whoever is prescribing the medication, and then the pharmacy. So this will, you'll be able to go to this to see which pharmacy they're using and which doctor is prescribing the medication. And then it is a scheduled medication and it's scheduled for 6:30 a.m. So again, it has all of that information. Up here, it has the dose, route, provider 1 external. So this client is at DDP. And then notes, 1 unit per every 15 carbs plus sliding scale. So if there's any extra information that you need to know, that will be shown right here in the notes. It is taken daily, and this client is on staff administration. So that is where you'll see that under referring provider. It'll indicate whether the client is on staff or self-administration. And so that is one place that you'll be able to see that. We will also have that up in the hung up in the medroom a list of staff and self-administration. And so you'll be able to refer to that as well. So all of the medication information is right here. And then if you come down here, then we are going to select that the medication was refused or not taken. And as you can see, that highlights orange, and then a refused reason box shows up. And so let's see here. Let's just go ahead and put consumer does not want to take medication. There is a long list of reasons, and then of course down at the bottom other, and then you would want to definitely explain in the notes or comments box. So let's just go ahead and put consumer does not want to take medication. And then down here you can give more of an in-depth reason for why the client didn't choose to take that medication. So consumer refused medication due to blood sugar reading being too low. And then you can put reading was 100, or let's see, that would not be a low one. Let's go ahead and do 67. So refuse not taken, consumer does not want to take medication, and then we have a good comment down here. So then if somebody goes back, they will know exactly why the client chose not to take the medication. You can keep it as short as you need to, as long as we can go back in and understand why that client did not take the medication. So then after doing that, you're going to click save. And then as you can see, that Traceba went from pink to green. And so that indicates that something was done to the medication, something was documented. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it was given, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it was refused or not taken, just something was done to that medication. So that, again, that'll be how you refuse a medication as well. So then if you come back here, you can see that that triangle is gone because we did something with the medication. And then let's see here, if we, oops, let's see. If we go back to testing test down here, she still has a triangle. Oh, let's see here, what was missed for her? Okay, so I'll have to figure that out because I'm not sure why there's a triangle there. So I will figure that out. I might be missing something. Okay, so now we are going to go into giving a medication. And so let's go ahead and let's give testing test her 11 o'clock medication, and then we'll give her 12 o'clock medication. So the 11 o'clock medication, we're going to go here and we will select that. And as you can see at 11 o'clock, she has Lyrica, and then it does have the PRN down here that she's able to take as well. And so Lyrica, again, you can see here, Lyrica 100 milligrams, Tanya Vakes is the provider, and USAVE is the pharmacy. 1 capsule by mouth daily for 30 days, and it's scheduled for 11 a.m. Down here, it has all the information, dosage route, and then as you can see here, again, referring provider, this client is on staff administration. So that's where you're going to be able to see that. So then if you come down here to the box to give the medication, the date and time are correct. The dosage is 1, and we are going to give the medication. We're just going to say that the client just took the medication as prescribed, so we don't need to put anything in the note or comment spots. So this is showing how to give 1 medication at a time. So we'll go ahead and we will click the save button, and then let's see, as you can see, that box went from yellow to green, indicating that the medication was given. So then if we come over here and let's say she comes back to take her noon medication, see here. So right now she has 2 scheduled medications at 12 o'clock. So I'm going to show you how you will batch a medication. And again, this will just save you a little bit of time because it will just go right on to the next medication. So you'll want to make sure that you select both medications. Again, this says noon, but it is a PRN medication. So we're not going to give that. So we have sertraline at 12 and fluoxetine at 12. So again, select both of those. And then you'll come over here and it says fluoxetine. I did put Prozac, the brand name, in parentheses, 40 milligrams. Tanya Vakes is the provider and USAVE is the pharmacy. This medication is scheduled for 12 p.m. And again, it has all of your information down here, referring provider, which just says if their staff or self is located right here. So we're going to come down here and we are going to click on given, and then we will select save and next. And then as you can see, it's going to go, then if we click next, it's going to go to, well, it should be going to, let's see here. It should be going to sertraline. So I'm not sure why that happened. So you should be able to give that medication and then select next. So, okay, so then when I unselect fluoxetine, then it goes to sertraline. So I will have to do some looking into that as well, because again, you should just be able to click save and next, and it should go to the next one. But you can still take a step out of going out to click on the other medication by giving it this way. So then we go to Zoloft. I have both generic and brand name here, Tanya Vakes, and then all of your information down here. And let's say that the client is going to refuse or not take this medication. And let's see here. Let's say that the client says she wants to consult with her prescribing doctor before she continues taking this. And then if you have any other information, you can put client reports medication making her feel ill. So that is a reason, that's a reason that she does not want to take the medication at this time. So then refuse not taken, reason for refusal, and then if you need to put a note or comment in there, you can do that. All right, and then as you can see again, that box went from yellow to green. So up here, this shows that we have not given the medication because it's still yellow. We still have time because it is a noon med. And then, so of course, if it would go past, 1 o'clock, then this box would turn pink because it would be over the hour before, hour after. Okay, and then if you, let's see here. These right here, this little clock with the pill inside there, that is going to show you the client's available PRNs. So what we have decided to do with the PRNs, rather than listing all PRNs on the standing order form, we are just going to ask the clients which PRN medications they would typically take. This does not mean that they can't have a medication off of the standing order list, but we just chose to not put every single one, just because that's such a long list to have to go through, and then if a client doesn't ever use it, it'll save some time. So we have Colis, ibuprofen, Tums, and Tylenol, and then of course we would have hydroxyzine, trazodone, whatever else the client was prescribed as needed on their list. But these four, the Colis, ibuprofen, Tums, and Tylenol, these are what we chose to pull off of the standing order form. So then if a client, let's say a client needs to use calamine lotion, you will have to document that on paper, which I will have in a binder in the med room. Again, this shouldn't happen very often, but then you would document that the client took calamine lotion and the reason for it, and then whoever puts the medications into the eMAR, they will look back at that, and if a client uses calamine lotion, they will go ahead and add that to their list of PRNs. So we shouldn't have to use much paper, just maybe every once in a while. So again, this is how we are going to do the PRNs for now. So let's go ahead and give a PRN. So let's go ahead and do Tylenol. So I'm going to click Tylenol. Oh, and actually, maybe we should get back to the correct. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're still in the 11 o'clock. So we'll go ahead and click on that. And then Tylenol, click on that on the left. And then Tylenol 325 up to 500 milligrams, which it means that they can have 325 milligram tabs or 500 milligram tabs. And then they can have 1 to 2 of either of those tabs. It shows here that it's PRN. And it says scheduled for 11 o'clock because we are in the 11 o'clock hour. And then if you come down here, it says take 1 to 2 tablets by mouth as needed every 6 hours for pain. So it will have those directions in there. And then if you come here, then be able to, if the client chooses to take 2 tabs, you can select drug dosage, so 2, and then given, and then in here you can put what it's for. So shoulder pain, and then rate 7. So that's showing that they're taking it for shoulder pain, and then they're rating it at a 7. And so then we'll come down here and we will click save, and then it will show that that medication was given. So then let's say we go, somebody else is in the med room and the client comes back in, in a couple minutes and asks for more Tylenol. So if you hover over this, it will show what medication was given and when it was given and by who it was given. And so given on 8/13 at 11:41 a.m. by Nicole Race. And so that will be a super easy way for you to look here and say, oh, it's 11:43. You can't have more Tylenol. So again, any medication that's given throughout the day. So let's just go ahead and give it, let's just go ahead and give it again, just so you can see. Let's see here. Okay. And we won't want to do that one because that was already given. So if you come down here, then again, we are going to select 2 tablets given, shoulder pain 7. So, and I'm just showing you this. Obviously, this is not something that you should be doing, but I'm just showing you this because this program does allow you to give PRNs as often as you would like. So it's just super important that we're looking to make sure when a med was last given. So then if I hover over that again, and it shows given at 11:41 and then given again at 11:43. So it will continue. So if they would come back in at 6 o'clock, which would be a more appropriate time to have another dose, then again, hover over that. It'll give you the list of all the PRNs and then Tylenol. It'll show that it was given twice here. So that will be an easy way to look at that. Alrighty, and so then let's see here. And then if you come down here, you can see these boxes they're like a grayish. And so these are meds that will be taken later on in the day. So that's the color that will be. And let's see. I'm just gonna go through my notes here to see what else I need to go over. Like I said, we did have a couple of changes. Alrighty, so again, I showed you where you'll be able to see if the client is on staff or self-administration. So again, when you go to give a medication, it will have the referring provider down here. So just to make sure you look for that. So if a client's wanting to take more or less of their prescribed dose, then you can look quickly here to see if they're on staff or self. And then of course, we'll have a list hanging in the med room. As you know, sometimes we get medications in after hours. So if we have to go off of a bottle for 24 hours, we will have to document this on paper. And so again, I will have documentation forms in the med room that you will be able to use. This shouldn't happen a whole lot, but then whoever enters in medications, we will have to make sure that we let them know, and then they will have to go in and enter the medication. Let's see here. A lot of people had questions about if we had to continue rating the pain and doing 2-hour follow-ups. That is something that we have to continue doing. So what we came up with that is that you can set alarms on your computer. So we figured that we would set alarms for just different things for the med aid to remember. So if it's a 2-hour follow-up, if if clients take meds outside of the 6:30 or HS med time, sometimes those can be easy to forget. And then just any other reminders, we can go ahead and set up an alarm. So that's at least going off, and that will remind the med aid that they have something to do during that time. Okay, let's see here. If a self-administration client does not take a scheduled medication on your shift, you will have to document this as refused or not taken. Um, so again, we went through how to refuse a medication or if it wasn't taken. So I'm just gonna click on medication here. So let's see. It's not a good one to use. Okay. Let's go to, I should have put more meth on here. Okay, so if we go, let's just go down to the Lamictal. So let's say this was scheduled for earlier in the day. The client still has not come in to take their medication. So this is when we will go ahead and refuse or hit the refuse not taken button. And again, you have quite a list of different things that you can select from here. And then, I mean, if a client's just literally not giving you a reason, then you can click other or explain. But I mean, we even have consumer refuse to leave bedroom to take med. Just consumer did not come in to take her medication. So really you shouldn't have to use this other button for this because again, we don't ask them to come in and take their med. They do that on their own. So consumer did not come to take our medication. You could select that as a reason and then you would hit save. So then if that happens on one shift, and then let's say that the client comes in to take that medication on the next shift, they can take that medication. So I will show you what you will do then. So you will click on the medication, and again, it'll say refused 8:13 at 11:48 a.m. by Nicole Race. So you'll have that there. So in order to change that, you will click edit. And then you will click given. And then down here, you will put in a reason why they came in late or chose not to take their medication earlier. So you can put something like client reported not taking medication earlier due to not feeling well. So just something like that, and then you will click save. So then it will show that medication was given by you. So that's what you'll do if somebody comes in again to take a medication that has already been documented as refused or not taken. You'll just go in there and edit. Oops, I forgot to change the time too. Sorry. So you'll want to make sure that you're changing the time too. So again, you'll click edit, and then if it was a scheduled med at 6:30 a.m. and they don't come in until 4 p.m., you'll want to make sure that you're changing that time as well. All right. Okay, so if a client elopes or is not in the facility they went to the emergency room, or they're at a doctor's appointment, whatever it may be, we need to document this. So we have to go in and we will select refuse not taken, and then we will put our reason for them not taking this. So again, we have consumer eloped, consumer is at the BHU, consumer was admitted to the hospital. So you can choose any of those options and then click save. So then we at least have a reasoning for why that medication was not taken. And this will need to be done until the client is removed from the list from InSync. Okay, so we went over that it will show on the MAR if a blood pressure or if a blood sugar reading is needed. And so you'll be able to document that. And it'll show you as a reminder on the MAR. And then if you wouldn't do it past the hour before or hour after, then it will flag you with that red triangle. Okay, let's see here. Okay, and we went over where to find the provider and pharmacy. And I think that is it then, you guys. The instructions for the eMAR that Becky typed up, those are super helpful. So I do definitely recommend using that. I will have a copy in the med room for you to go off of, but those have step-by-step instructions on how to do this, just until you guys get used to everything. But I am going to go ahead and end the video now. And thank you very much for watching.